Every single time you open your mouth to speak, the people listening are making a choice. They're deciding, should I trust this person or should I just tune them out? So today, we're going to break down 5 common behaviors you need to cut out right now to make sure they always choose to trust you. Your ability to communicate isn't just a soft skill, it's a massive value multiplier for your career. Because at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. If you can't communicate like a leader, people will never ever trust you like one. But here's the twist, the part most people get wrong. Building that executive presence, that feeling of trust, it's not about adding a bunch of new tricks or flashy presentation skills. That's right, it's about subtraction. See, trust gets worn down by all these little weak behaviors that we let slide. So becoming a powerful communicator is really about finding those weak spots and just cutting them out one by one. All right, let's jump right into number 1. And this is probably the most common one I see that just kills people's authority. You have to stop over-explaining. Think about it. The smartest, most respected people in any room, they're hardly ever the ones talking the most. In fact, they usually say the least. But when they do speak, every single word lands with impact. They're not talking in circles, they're speaking with razor-sharp clarity. And over-explaining is so damaging because it just screams that you're not confident. I had this painful experience once where I had to watch a recording of a meeting I led. And it was brutal. I saw myself just repeating the same point 6 different ways, basically begging for the reaction I wanted. And you know what my team was doing? They were checked out. Their eyes were glazed over. Experts don't need to do that. They make their point and they move on. When you're concise, you're not just saving time. You're projecting this quiet confidence, this expectation of being heard. Your thinking seems sharper and you give people the space to actually absorb what you're saying. Okay, let's move on to our second behavior. This one's all about what your body is saying. It's time to stop fidgeting. Here's a hard truth for you. What you say means almost nothing if your body language is telling a completely different story. If your words are saying, I'm confident, but your body is screaming, I'm nervous, guess which one people are going to believe? Yeah, your body, every single time. It's just human nature. We don't follow people who look uncertain. All that pen tapping, the hair twirling, the nail biting, all those little nervous habits, they create this huge disconnect. The audience stops hearing your message and just starts watching your nervous movements. And poof, your credibility is gone. I remember this director of operations. She was absolutely brilliant. But on every Zoom call, she would just chew on her nails, constantly. It was this tiny habit, but it made her look so nervous and it totally undermined her authority. The solution was blunt, but man, it worked. Her boss told her, get fake nails. And she did. It physically stopped the habit, and almost overnight, she seemed way more composed and confident to her team. All right, behavior number 3. This one is less about your hands and more about your head. It's time to stop asking for permission to lead. So many people think leadership is a title someone gives you. It's not. It's something you claim with your actions. If you're just sitting around waiting for someone to officially anoint you the leader, you're taking a huge risk. A risk that someone who's way less qualified is going to step up and take charge, simply because they were willing to act when you weren't. So the big question is, how do you actually do that? How do you go from being passive to being the one who's actively leading? It really boils down to one powerful word: certainty. When everything is chaotic and confusing, a real leader is the one who steps in and creates a clear path forward. When you take ownership and make a decisive call, you create momentum. You make people feel safe. Indecision? Well, that just breeds doubt. People will always follow the person who acts, not the person who asks. Number 4 is a tough one. This is one a lot of us struggle with, but it is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to build respect. You have to stop avoiding the hard conversations. Make no mistake about this. Your team is keeping a mental scorecard. They might not say it out loud, but every time you dodge an uncomfortable truth, every time you let a serious issue just slide by, you lose a point. Avoidance kills respect. It's that simple. Mark Zuckerberg really got this right. Having true executive presence means you are willing to be the person in the room who says what needs to be said, especially when it's uncomfortable. Real leaders don't run away from discomfort. They walk right towards it. And that brings us to our 5th and final behavior. This one connects your internal world directly to how people see you on the outside. You have to stop being inconsistent. Okay, the big idea here is simple, but it's so profound. If you can't regulate yourself, you have no business trying to lead other people. If your team walks in every morning wondering which version of you is going to show up today, are they getting the happy you, the stressed you, the angry you, then you're not leading. You're just forcing them to react to your mood. This right here, this is the goal: emotional predictability. And it is one of the rarest and most valuable traits in a leader. I once worked for this boss at a gym, and his mood swings were just Wild. He'd come in and unload on everybody for no reason. And you know what? It completely destroyed any respect we had for him. Nobody trusted him because his actions were all driven by his feelings, not by any real leadership. So let's just pull this all together, trading overexplaining for concise clarity. We're swapping out fidgeting for calm, grounded posture. Instead of asking permission, we're taking decisive action. Instead of avoiding conflict, we're confronting it with composure. And instead of being inconsistent, we're aiming for emotional predictability. Every single one of these is a step away from weakness and a huge leap toward trust. So many people think you have to be this big, charismatic, larger-than-life personality to have executive presence. You don't. It's much simpler and much more important than that. It's just about being someone people can trust to lead them. Take a hard look at that list we just went through. Be honest with yourself. Which one of those weak behaviors are you going to eliminate first?